What's up, guys? It's your girl Books with Bonnie, and I am back with another effing video. What's poppin'? What's going on? How we doing, sis? What's up? Thank you so much for watching this video. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing. To all my returners, hey babe, how you doing? Today's video is going to be all about my review for my February read called Who Put This Song On by Morgan Parker. And let's talk. To kind of start this one off, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the synopsis off of the book, and then I'll kind of tell you a little bit more. So let's jump in with the synopsis, shall we? Trapped in the sunny, small town suburban, 17-year-old Morgan can't count the number of times she's been the only non-white person at the sleepover, been teased for her weird outfits, and has been told she's not really black. Lately, Morgan feels like the whole world is listening to the same terrible track on repeat. It tells them how to feel, who to vote for, and what to believe. Morgan starts to wonder, when can she turn this song off and start living for herself? Okay, so this is what the book looks like. It's very cute. Very cute. Very cute. Okay, so some content warnings, which I didn't know going into the book, but there is conversation around suicide. So just to kind of start this with the, there is conversation about suicide in this book. So let's jump right in. Morgan is, of course, in the suburbia, and it's her mom, her dad, her brother, and herself. And this is actually talking about a failed suicide attempt. So this is actually taking place after she has attempted to commit suicide. Her family and friends are very much cautious around her while still trying to be supportive. What I like about this book is that it tackles a lot of conversations around being black, but also mental health, and how the stigmas around culture plays a part in how we perceive as well as address mental illness or mental support. So when I talked about this book with a friend, I did end up buddy reading this book. And when I say very, very, very close to home for me, a lot of the conversations around mental health always had some kind of religion tied to it. Just pray about it. And the comments like, oh, you're fine, you're just tired, or you're just hungry, or you're just sleepy, where they downplay the emotional reality for you. I just found that to be very close to home. Not only, it also talks a lot about how it feels to be black, the only black person in all white spaces, whether it's friend groups, sleepovers, school, and how you have to be able to basically talk for yourself, because if you don't have the abilities of advocating for yourself, you end up being a part of the herd or a part of preconceived notions that's already presented onto you just by being a woman, just by being black. Now, this book goes directly into the experience of Morgan Parker. Yes, it is dramatized by certain content there, but I actually listened to the interview by Morgan Parker, with Morgan Parker about the book, and she talks a lot about how things that she thought was everybody's experience, she found out just by having this book, it started to create more conversations about it. So I'm jumping ahead, but long story short, I've already started rambling. Okay, so long story short, the story is about Morgan, and after Morgan has attempted to commit suicide, she tries to reemerge into her life as though it's not that she's not acknowledging that it's happened, but she feels that people are all handling it very differently. Her parents are more so on edge. Of course, any parent would with that experience. I cannot imagine what that would feel like. But I understand what she means by how culture plays so much parts in how your parents react. Just speaking from personal experience, growing up, whenever you were sad or mad or emotional, you were most likely told, and again, I'm speaking on my experience, yours could be totally different. Whenever you kind of verbalize those type of emotions, you were told, oh, it's gonna pass, it's okay, it's a part of growing up. Or if you come from a religious background, pray about it, or prayer is there. And for me, that wasn't enough. Not saying that I was suicidal or anything like that. And I pray for those who have to deal with those kind of thoughts and that form of depression. But I feel like there's definitely a huge opportunity in specifically the Black community to have more conversations around appropriateness of how to address it. I feel like, again, we come from a history that is riddled with the most difficult kind of things in the world. So in my opinion, I feel like when you don't know how to deal with things, you kind of lean on what you've been told, and you kind of not been told the right things. I feel like I'm talking in a circle, and I hope this makes sense. Sorry, I also just came from the dentist, so my bottom lip is kind of numb. Sorry. Moving on. So the story talks about a few different things that I really, really love, and I want to highlight those as well. So the conversations, the cultural aspect, we've kind of went over it. Okay, I talked about that, but it also talks about her friendships and her relationships with people that she cares about, and how by not telling them, it felt like it was an additional weight added to her by not being able to have the space to say, hey, I'm not doing good. I'm not doing well. I'm not feeling well. She basically kind of absorb it and pretend like it didn't matter. How many young Black people, specifically young Black girls, have all these things going on with them but don't have a safe space to express it? Exactly. And it's crazy because I experienced a lot of this in this book, as far as like being the only Black person in a lot of white spaces, and being that Black friend to speak for Black people, and how these narratives are forced on you, and you kind of really have to advocate and say, hey, actually all Black people don't think like I think. It's literally just me and my experience, and that's what I'm referring to. Someone else's experience could be totally different. And it's very interesting how it's conceptualized and how it's talked about in this book. It even talks about being young, being Black, being in those white spaces, and dating, and what that's like, and how that experience is very, very different from someone who is, you know. I for one, gave this book a 4-star. I enjoyed it. I really, really think it's an important piece, and I wasn't expecting it to be so filled with great information, because not only does it talk about relationships with family, friends, but it also goes into education a little bit, and how this narrative of Black people are constantly being fed, and it's not being told by Black people. And I love that. I was like, yes, let's call this out. And it talks a little bit about how we as Black people are not in the space to speak for our own narratives. And I love that piece. Like, yes, shut that damn teacher down who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about and can't speak to it. You know, like, oh, this is what I was taught, so I'm gonna keep teaching it. And it's like, you don't have that experience, so how dare you tell somebody they're wrong when they literally have the experience from it? Like, what's wrong with you? That pisses me off, by the way. I hate when people are like, because that's not my experience, it's not realistic, or it's not as important, or it's not a real thing. Like, that will piss me off. But overall, I gave the book, again, a 4-star. I thought it was really enjoyable. Morgan Parker does an interview at the end. I think it's worth reading. It really ties into the book, and how, yes, it was dramatized for entertainment, but it was done in a way that was very realistic and very subtle to me, in my opinion. I think it's realistic to have these conversations and highlight these stories where Black people, Black women are speaking out and expressing themselves, and not being put in a box and told, oh, that's not how we do things. You need to be quiet. Fuck you. Okay, I'm gonna get hyped, so I'm gonna chill. So that is all I have for the book. I do have one book that I actually just won. I was actually really excited because I was like, oh snap, people actually win these. So it's a Goodreads giveaway kind of thing, and I normally just submit just for the hell of it. I never expect to actually win one, and I did, and it's from Penguin Teen. So the book that I actually got was 4 Aunties and a Wedding. And here's the cover, and it's super cute. And there was actually a note in here. I didn't read it. I wanted to read it on cam. So here we go. Okay, so it says, thank you for entering our giveaway. You have been selected as the winner. winning. And and we love to hear your thoughts. So they also put in the information for the social media for the pub, and it's Berkeley. And I don't know if you guys can see this. Here you go. Check it out. Okay, so that is all I have for the video. I'm excited to get into that one. I've been winning a lot of books as well as authors sending me books, and this is a whole new next level kind of thing for me. But it's getting hot outside, so I'm so ready to go to a park. I'm so ready to go by a beach or just go on my balcony and chill and read. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. If you got this far in the video, make sure you comment down below what is the most recent book you purchased. What y'all over there buying? Tell sis what you bought. Or comment down below the book emoji. Make sure you like, subscribe, do the dang thing. It's your girl Books with Bonnie. I'm out.